Hey there, guys. So I decided to hop on real quick, and I am not gonna do a full-on recap, update, all that kind of stuff. But what I do want to talk about real quick is what is going on right now with people's activity level. And what I mean by that is, a while back when we had first started, and I'm going to reference this with uploads. A while back when we first started, we had, I'm sorry, can you turn that off? We started off, and I don't remember what it was in the beginning. You had like 5 uploads or I don't know, whatever it was. And it continued to grow. And there was a point to where I think we were at when we first started, whether it was like 100 tier or whatever, you had 10 uploads. Well, the next day, okay, because I'm going to take this back. This hasn't even been a year yet. The next day that we're all started to get serious about Amazon merch, it was in August, they dropped the uploads to 2. So they went from 10 per day, which I wasn't even really serious, so I wasn't maxing out. I wasn't whatever. I didn't really know what was going on. Dropped it down to 2 per day. And what that did was it really made me realize that, damn it, I need to max up my uploads like every day. No ifs, ands, or buts. I don't care what's going on. We're maxing out. You know, we're going on vacation. We're going to, we went to Cancun, max out the uploads, like get tiered up, max out the uploads. It doesn't matter what's going on 7 days a week, you max out those uploads, right? Because then they open it back up, you get a little bit more uploads per day, and then they dropped them back down again. Then here comes December, and here comes the freeze, you know, the legendary freeze that everybody talks about, which happens right around December 5th. I only experienced once, but I've heard that's what had happened previously as well. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen this year, but point being is that when you get limits, basically, maxes, whatever, max them out. Do everything you can, max it out. With that said, I'm going to take it back a little bit because let's look at what happened. We had many people understand that we had, for a period of time, were suspended through December, through the freeze. And at the end of January, we got our account reinstated. And so at that time, we were at tier 1000. Tier 1000, we had 20 uploads. And at that point, we're like, oh my gosh, like this is a lot. It's a lot to deal with, 20 uploads. Well, my husband's account, he got his account back in the beginning of February. He just tiered up to tier 500 with that account, and he has 25 uploads, okay? 25 uploads, so he has more uploads now than somebody that had gotten to the 1000 tier before. So here's the thing, is that I really thought it was genius in the beginning. Not when they dropped us down, but that was for whatever reasons they, decided to do. I thought it was genius in the beginning that they gave us daily maxes. They gave us incremental tier ups. And I really aligned it. I worked all my numbers on how many sales we should probably be getting versus how many we should be uploading, maxing out our uploads so that we could tier up. When we're eligible to tier up, everybody knows that the guesstimated, and this is probably when you get up to some of the higher tiers, like when you're going up to the tier 500 and above at this point, is that you need to have 80% of your upload slots filled, and you need to have at least that minimum number of sales. So if you are tier 100, you have to have 100 sales and 80 of your slots filled in order to hit tier 500. That's just our hypothesis. That's what seems to happen. Some of the lower tiers have been being tiered up without those qualifications lately. That's not how it was in the beginning, but regardless, things change. So at this point, that's what we're looking at. And so with those numbers, it seemed, I was like, wow, they really know their stuff. Like, because if you're working this at a good clip, you're uploading 20 a day at tier 1000, you should be hitting about, that 20 per day. And this was back in, we started back in July. So once we started picking up steam, it made sense. We were in the good part of the year, and you should at least be getting that amount of sales. So I thought this was all like masterminded by them. Well, here comes January, and then they start just unleashing the uploads. They're like, it's ridiculous at this point how many uploads people are having. And so we have other products, right? We have, they rolled out long sleeves. It was actually just before the freeze. So they had long sleeves back in the end of 2017. And then I believe it was either at the end or the beginning of this year is when they gave everybody hoodies and sweatshirts. So in essence, we're looking at 5 different product types. So for each design, you could do 5 different, different products that you can post. And then on top of that, obviously you can do distressed, you can do different colors, you can do different colors of shirts, you can do a dark font, okay, so there's lots of different variations that you can do. But with that, here's what I'm actually kind of wanting to share with you guys at this point, is I've seen so many people, in us being one of them, when we were, like I said, from that point when we got serious in August 2017, we did not miss an upload until we got suspended. We maxed out our uploads every single day, no ifs, ands, or buts. And you might think, oh yeah, because you had less uploads. Well, yeah, we did have less uploads, but it still felt like a lot because we were still pushing our capacity. So now we get to the point to where literally we just tiered up on, the main account is at 6,000. So we're at 6,000 tier, and that's 300 uploads a day. Okay. So here's what I want to say is I think that maxing your uploads is really important. I think that if you want to push a big pace of learning, taking in information, seeing what's selling, whatever, it's important because you're able to get a lot of, information back. If stuff's not selling, then okay, well, could there be other reasons? Could there be reasons because your shirts are ghosted and what? Sure, that's possible. And I'm sure that's happening, but that's just nothing that we can even think about. We can't even, we can't collect any data from that. So I just don't even want to worry about that. The thing is like, what's selling? What's selling? Make more of it. And so when we're talking about maxing your uploads, there's a few different ways that you can do it. Obviously, you can do it on all the different types of products. There's some really awesome tools out there. I know, just to share whatever, like I'm usually doing, like the designing and everything for the account. And then my husband actually uploads. And he uses Merch Lister Pro. So that has been a tool that he absolutely loves. And so, there's things you have to figure out what's going to work for you. And it's made a lot of difference with us now that we have so many uploads that we really do a lot of variations in the same niche. So initially we're just trying to figure out what works or whatever. We're throwing a lot of different designs up and a lot of different niches, really not knowing what's going on. And then you need to look and that's, really all the way up to maybe tier 1000. That's kind of what you might want to do. If you're able to get a grasp on it before that, good for you. But, this is a totally new space for us. It's not something that we did. We try to take in as much information we can from the groups, but, getting that actual feedback from what's working for what you're doing, I think that's extremely valuable. So let's get back to the title about this because I think this is really important. I've been talking to a lot of people lately that have gotten into some of the higher tiers and they've progressed really quickly. And again, initially we were all like, you have to max out, you have to max out. Well, the reason we were saying like everybody wanted to max out their uploads is because in a freaking drop of a hat, Amazon cuts it. They could cut it at any point. So we're like, oh my gosh, like we need to make sure that we're taking advantage of this. Now, the flip side is if you're not able to keep up because your sales, because whether it's your designs, your keywords, you know, maybe it's a little bit difficult. Maybe we're not getting enough eyes on our shirts. Maybe we're not in some unique niches, but whatever it is, if your sales are not able to keep up with those uploads, what's the point? What's the point in maxing up those uploads every single day if you're not able to do that? Now, one thing I can say is that you're going to get data back. I mean, because you can always drop them, that's fine. So if you're not stressing, if you're not, you know, pushing yourself to the max and you're able to max out your uploads, go for it. Use every single product that they have, max out your uploads, perfect. But if you're sitting here killing yourself, trying to just get uploads in, trying to upload crap designs or designs on, you know, that you put in red, blue, green, all these different fonts, whatever, just because you want to hit your uploads, that doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. And you definitely don't want to do that if it's really stressing you out. So here's what I suggest, everybody. Figure out what your max is. What is your max uploads that you can do 7 days a week? And I'm just going to let you know that I think 7 days a week is important, okay? On the 7th day, God rested, all that kind of stuff. You know what? We're merchers, okay? 7 days a week. Let's figure out 7 days a week. How many designs can you do? How many can you upload each and every day? And do that every single day. Because here's what I know is that consistency will win. Consistency will win over anybody that's able to knock out 200 designs in a day, 300 designs a day, whatever, unless they're doing that every single day. And there's some of you guys out there. I know you. We talk to you, and you're freaking superhuman. Yeah. So we know a few of you out there. But for all of us that are not superhuman, figure out what your max is. Challenge yourself, okay? Challenge yourself. But figure out what your max upload is. Make it be a minimum of what your daily sales are, your average daily sales. Look over the past month and look how many you've had over that past month, or if you had a really good month, whatever. Don't go below that because you want to be able to outrun your sales with your uploads, basically. You want to make sure that you have those there, your capacity is there. But figure out something that you can do 7 days a week because that's going to make you better. You're going to be in it. You're not going to be, here's the thing. If you are sitting here, if personally, okay, we just got 300 uploads. That's a lot. We have other stuff going on. We have a daughter. We have business travels. We're, you know, doing FBA, private label. We have a lot of other things that we have going on right now. If we were just to say, okay, we're going to do 300 uploads and we're going to do that every single day. First of all, in less than 10 days, we're going to be maxed out anyways. How many quality designs can I really put up? Personally, you know, that we're going to be able to get up in those days. Like I said, if you're able to do it, go for it. Like, max yourself out. That's just not a capacity that we're going to be able to work with and put quality designs up. So we need to space that out and be like, okay, what can we do every single day? Be consistent and give us enough time to actually research a little bit, to learn, to grow our design skills, to read some of the awesome, newsletters come out, to listen and get on a lot of the videos that people are sharing, you guys, like on YouTube. There's people that are doing consistent programs that are sharing with you guys for free. And I'm going to touch on this real quick because it's funny. My husband doesn't get really fired up about a lot of stuff, but there was some comments about people that were getting a little bit frustrated, and it had nothing to do with my Tear Up post, but it was in a different group, and somebody was getting frustrated because somebody's like, oh, tell me your secrets, tell me how you do it. If you're going to post your, your victories and everything, well, give us every little bit that, you're doing so that we can do it too. Here's the deal, you guys. Number one, it's out there, okay? Number two, those people, they don't owe anybody anything. I think for some, you know what, if they're posting that can be enough to show that it's just, it's legit, it's real, that somebody's doing it. That can be enough. Maybe they're not comfortable sharing. Maybe this isn't their deal, which is totally fine. So take it for what it is. Nobody is owed anything, but I'm telling you right now, in the main Facebook groups, you guys are gonna find a ton of valuable information. And guess what? If it's a little bit all over the place for you, if you don't have time to like piece it together, there's courses that are coming out on this stuff, right? And if you guys are going to invest in yourself, do not expect somebody else to take their time and invest in you when you're not going to invest in yourself. Okay? So that's what I'm going to wrap up with. So here's a tip. Like I said, last thing, do not forget this. This is the main point of this entire video, is that if you are having trouble hitting your max uploads, then you need to figure out what is your max. What is your max? Figure that out. What can you do consistently 7 days a week? Give yourself enough time to learn and grow. Give yourself enough time to do a little bit of personal development, get a little bit of mindset stuff in, learn how to be an entrepreneur. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And that's what I'm gonna wrap up with. So you guys have a wonderful evening. I hope that everybody is doing awesome. We're really looking forward to pushing this strong. So I'm gonna call myself out real quick. This is kind of a big goal, and it's a pretty lofty goal. It doesn't look like it could actually happen, but I feel like every time that I try and set a goal that's really big, we just step it up and do everything that we can to make it happen. So even if we fall shy of this goal, I know that me saying this and sharing this with you guys is going to force me to push myself a little bit harder. So you guys are my accountability here. We started this gig back in July of 2017, and we got serious about it in August, but regardless, I still want it to be a true 1-year annual goal. So we just hit the 6,000 tier. Our true 1-year annual goal is to hit the 10,000 tier. That means by July. I worked out the numbers. We're not hitting the sales that we need to hit for that right now. What Amazon allows us to do for uploads is going to be no problem. So if they continue to have it be at that level, obviously right now at 300 a day, that's not going to be the deciding factor on the tier up. The tier ups for us are going to be the sales. So we need to figure out how to step it up. We need to get our daily sales up, and that's what we're looking to do. So we'll see. I will report back to you guys. I'm sure I'll talk to you before then, but I will absolutely report back to you guys before July, or when we hit in July, and we'll do a full annual recap of the numbers. So I don't know, 10K tier up by then. We'll see. All right, guys, have a wonderful night.